Hola mundo, buenos días. En este video vamos a aprender un poco de vocabulario acerca de las profesiones en español. So we're going to learn a little bit of Spanish vocabulary here regarding some professions. Before I start, I just want to say a couple of things. One, the PowerPoint that you're looking at is available to you in the description of the video. Also in the description of the video will be a link to a document that will have a list of all of these words in English and Spanish. And lastly, if you are a Spanish speaker, or even if you're a Spanish student, and say I give you the word for, I don't know, say I give you a word, and you're like, I learned a different way to say that, because there are different ways to say farmer, for example. I'm going to give you one way to say farmer, and there is another way to say it that I know, but I'm only going to give you one for now. So if you're like, I say farmer this way, go ahead and leave me that word in the description of the video. And if you're a Spanish speaker, a native Spanish speaker, and your word is different, do me a favor and tell me where you're from and the different way that you say it, and then we can, learn from each other. It'd be kind of a fun thing to do. At least would be for me anyway. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the words, and then after I'm done, I'm probably going to go back through them and point out to some, just make some notes on some of the words, just so you guys have them. So anyway, here we go. El abogado, la abogada. El operador, la operadora. La mujer de negocios. El secretario, la secretaria. El profesor, la profesora. El doctor, la doctora. El mecánico, la mecánica. El bailarín, la bailarina. El agricultor, la agricultora. El ingeniero, la ingeniera. El periodista, la periodista. El maestro, la maestra. El contador, la contadora. El juez, la jueza. El bombero, la bombera. El gerente, la gerente. El policía, la policía. El arquitecto, la arquitecta. El entrevistador, la entrevistadora. El artesano, la artesana. El peluquero, la peluquera. El artista, la artista. El niñero, la niñera. El cartero, la cartera. El hombre de negocios. El deportista, la deportista. El editor, la editora. El empleado, la empleada. El enfermero, la enfermera. El recepcionista, la recepcionista. El técnico, la técnica. El veterinario, la veterinaria. El dueño, la dueña. El diseñador gráfico, la diseñadora gráfico. El asistente, la asistente. El jefe, la jefa. El jardinero, la jardinera. El obrero, la obrera. El taxista, la taxista. El fotógrafo, la fotógrafa. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to go through and point out a couple things on a few of the words for you, and then we'll be done. So this one with El at the dancer, you'll notice a couple of things, aside from the A on the end of the feminine one. Also, the accent mark of the I from the masculine to feminine, you do want to note that it goes away on the feminine one due to accent mark rules. If you're a little bit more advanced in your Spanish learning and you want to learn more about Spanish accent marks, search YouTube for Senor Bellas Spanish accent marks, and I have a lesson on there that actually teach you some of those rules. And if you were to watch that video, you would understand why that I bailarín is there, and why it is not there on bailarina. I asked earlier that if you had a different word for farmer, to go ahead and send it my way. So, for example, agricultor is one way to say it. Another way that I know is granjero or granjera. If there's something else you guys know, do me a favor and leave me a comment below. Periodista is always periodista. Doesn't matter if it's a guy or not. For this one, bombero, I just wanted to point out that it's one thing that's nice about Spanish is that you don't have to worry about saying fireman or firefighter. Like sometimes English speakers will jump to the word fireman, but then women can be firemen or firefighters also. So sometimes people want to say fireman even though it's a woman. So with Spanish, you don't have to worry about that because you just make it feminine type of a thing. So I always thought that was kind of cool with Spanish. Manager is always gerente, regardless if it's a man or a woman. Policía, I want to point out a couple things to you. One, there's an accent mark over the I. That's not what I want to point out to you, though. La policía is a female police officer, or it's the police force. And then el policía is just a male police officer. Artista is always artista with an A at the end. Same with deportista. Same with recepcionista. With this one, the graphic designer, if I take out the gráfico part and just put diseñador, then he's just a designer, and you can probably be a different kind of designer, and you can put that at the end of it. Asistente will always end in an E regardless, and taxista will always end in an A regardless if it's a man or a woman. That was it for my notes for you. If you have any questions about the video or anything else, let me know. Otherwise, leave a like if you liked, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.